Hey there YouTube, AJ here, and today I'm going to do a short video on how I built my fun box, grind box, fun pad, Manny Pad, whatever you want to call it. You might have seen this pad in recent videos, like when I hurt myself.
That was the hard one.
And when I learned to actually do a 50-50 grind.
There we go.
Obviously, I got the idea for this when I saw the John Hill video on the Slappy Pad that he sells. I happened to have a leftover piece of plywood in my garage that was about the same size, and I thought, you know what? I am never going to spend $400 on something like that, but I can build that. So that's what I did. I took that scrap of plywood I had and started scrounging for materials to build my own version of a Slappy Pad, Manny Pad, grind box, fun box, all those names. Anyway, so first thing I did was hop on Craigslist and see what kind of free materials I could get for the round rail on this side and the metal ledge edge on the other sides. Like right away I found a free bed frame that someone had set out at the curb. Said if this ad's still up, come get it. So I went and got the bed frame, and that makes the angle iron on the edges over here. It took me a few days, maybe a week or so, and then an ad popped up on Craigslist for some free gas pipe that they were tearing out of a building. I grabbed the biggest pipe and took it with me. I do have a little bit of that left. I probably will make a rail out of it if I ever get good enough to skate rails. Anyway, for now, let's take a look at the basic construction of the box, and then we'll go over it. So I started with this piece of 3/4 inch plywood that I had left over from another project. It was 26 inches by 5 foot 7 inches long, and I just designed the size of the box around it. I found a 20-foot length of used 2-inch gas pipe for free on Craigslist for the round rail side, but I bought two 8-foot 2x6s to make the base out of. I started by making the ends of the base, cutting the angle for the slappy curb and notching the corners to fit the round rail. You can't see it here, but I added the 2x6 flat side and cut the coping from an old bed frame I also got for free on Craigslist. After cutting the 2x6 for the slappy side, you can see that the bottom edge needs to be cut at an angle to allow the pad to sit flat. I did this on a table saw, but it could be done with a circular saw just as well. Now that all the base sides were cut out, it was time to glue and screw them together. After checking the fit of the top and rails, it was time to add the structure that the round rail would attach to. I did this by attaching two 2x4s at a 90-degree angle to the base under where the rail would sit. With that done, I also added another 2x4 down the middle to support the deck. With the base structure completed, I glued and screwed on the deck and bed frame coping, making sure to countersink the screws for a smooth surface. To attach the round rail, I drilled and filed T-slots into the rail and used carriage bolts to attach it through the inner structure. So obviously I've painted the box. Since then, I had leftover paint. I went ahead. You can see from the end the angle that I made to use for a slappy. I have not learned to slappy yet. I've come close a few times. I have trouble getting both my back truck up when I do it. I can get the front one up pretty regularly, but I haven't been able to really commit and get my back trucks up. But I'm getting there. This is the bed frame. I cut around. You see where I mitered in the corners. I probably will come back and weld this together at some point. This side is completely square. Same thing down on this corner. I'll probably weld these together. So pretty basic box. Probably the hardest part about the whole project is figuring out this angle. You don't want to get it too steep or too mellow. So as you can see from the bottom, it's pretty basic box construction. I did put in the center support because I didn't want the middle to be soft when I was landing on the box. Originally when I built it, I thought I might need to add more supports this way later on, but I didn't. It's really good and solid the way it is. I like it. You can see the 3 carriage bolts I used to attach my rail. I made T-slots in the pipe itself to insert the head of the carriage bolts, and then through this wood frame I made. Cutting this angle on the front board, you got to match that angle to here so it sits flat. I did that on a table saw, but you definitely could do it with a power hand saw, circular saw. In here I boxed in a support and drilled through for my carriage bolts. That's what holds in the whole grind rail, round rail section. It makes it nice and solid and sturdy. So basically just create a box and then drill through it at an angle, and there you go. It's really simple construction. I mean, overall it's really just a frame with one support. Again, probably the biggest deal is cutting out, you know, this angle to get it what you want. You could make it a square pad, but you can see where I notched the corner down here for the steel pipe to fit in. But yeah, other than that, it's really a simple construction project. All in all, it's a really simple project. It can actually be done completely for free if you're good at scrounging. I've built stuff like this with absolutely no cost outlay before. I could have scrounged all the wood on this. I didn't. Probably the most expensive parts were going to be the steel. I didn't want to buy those, so I scrounged those, got those for free. I had the main top piece here. I just used the size I had available. It's really close to the same dimensions as the one John Hill sells, but it's a little bit tiny bit shorter, I think, and a smidge bit wider. I can't remember exactly, but it's really close. It works. But again, I didn't scrounge my sideboards. I went ahead, I think I got that all out of either one 10-foot or one 12-foot 2x6. I bought that just because I didn't have time to go wait and scrounge for boards. I wanted to get it built and get it done, so I just bought that part. I could have done it if I had more time. The harder thing to scrounge is going to be nails and glue. I mean, this box is completely glued together, every joint, it's screwed together. I didn't use any nails, I didn't want anything backing out, but obviously you may have to buy that kind of stuff. It's harder to scrounge. But the point of the video is, it's pretty simple to build stuff like this for yourself or your kids. It's really not that expensive if you just do a little smart scrounging, and you can do it yourself. Other than that, I hope maybe it inspires you to build your own stuff or get your kids skating and building your kids obstacles that they can use in your driveway, and not just be put off by, what, that's $400? I can't afford that. You can do it yourself. So hopefully maybe it'll help somebody else see how I did it. I mean, I understand I didn't give you a full step-by-step. At the time I wasn't doing YouTube when I built this, so I didn't have video. But I hope the pictures gives you a basic idea of how to build it, and I hope I've explained well enough that it's something that can be done on a budget. All in all, now that I've conquered my fear of this from when I hurt myself on it, I'm really enjoying using this box now. My grinds are getting a little bit better now. I'm getting more confident at hitting and attacking and ollieing on the box, and so I think it's going to be a really good asset in the long run for me to improve my own skating as I learn. So that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Hope you come back. New videos coming soon on a shelf project I'm doing, and should be something happening on the hot rod soon. Maybe the motorcycle, don't know. But till then, later YouTube.